Hello students, welcome to the second part of in-service damage inspection and processing. Myself, Shankhu Ghosh, Assistant Professor of Automobile Engineering Department at Dr. Sudhir Chandra Su Degree Engineering College under the JIS. Today, discuss the second part of the in-service damage inspection and the processing, which is taken from the module number of 10. This topic is taken from the subject of non-destructive testing and application. This is the 7th semester subjects of automobile engineering students, and the subject code is AUE 705. So students, in the previous class we discussed about the in-service damage inspection. There are various types of the inspection methods, and discuss about the various case studies. Today we discuss on the case study on this in-service damage inspection, and after that we discuss about the various kind of processing. So after completing this class, students easily understand about easily understand about the in-service damage inspection, and they are the various processing those are used for this NDT methods. So students, let's start the today's class on in-service damage inspection second part and the processing. So let's start. So let's start with this second part as a composite benchmark. A composite benchmark was defined. A composite benchmark was defined in the NTP, or the National Technology Program, to serve as reference for the evolution of NDT methods. First, a selection of structural details. In primary composite being relevant for the next generation military aircraft and helicopters was made. First, a selection of structural details in primary composite being relevant for the next generation military aircraft and the helicopter was made. This resulted in the following 4 structural details. Number 1 is solid laminate. Number 2 is solid laminate with the T-shaped stiffeners. Number 3 is plain sandwich structure, and number 4 is chamfered sandwich structure with the L-shaped rib on the frame. So these structural details were used in the manufacturing of 5 carbon fiber reinforced plastic, or CFRP, carbon fiber reinforced plastic reference panel, where the laminated configuration of 2 different thickness were used, 2.7 and 5.4 mm. The material of the carbon fiber reinforced plastic, or the CFRP specimen, is based on the carbon fabric, a certified material which is used for instance of the NH-90 helicopter. For the sandwich specimen, a Hexel HRH-10 Nomex honeycomb core with the thickness of 90 mm and the cell size of 0.25 inch was used. The 3 specimens were partly converted by a copper wire mesh and functioning as a surface protection, example of lightening the strike occurrence. Here is the picture of the composite. So this is the picture of the composite. The length is 905 mm and the width is 800 mm. And there are the various parts component. So this is the top view and this is the side view. In the side view, we can find the rib or frame. This is the rib or frame. This portion is the delamination, which is denoted by TXY. This is the skin to rib. This one is the skin to rib or frame this bound, which is denoted by SDB. And here is this one is the honeycomb filled with the putty. So here some things we can in this some points is denoted like this. There is a T1.1, T2.1, 3.1, T1.2, T2.2, T3.2, 3.1.3 in this similar, and there is a star noted that is 5.5, 60. There is a 2,60, 60. That is denoted as SD1, SD2, 3, 4. So like that. What is the meaning of this? And there is some hole which is denoted by A and B. What is the meaning of this, which is given in here? This is the defect type. This one is the defect type. For this one, T111, that is the delamination, where this is denoted by T, X and Y. X means 1, 2 or 3, which is the diameter of 0.25, 0.5 and 1 inch accordingly. And for Y, 1, 2 or 3, depth is 0.75, 1.50 or 2.25 millimeter accordingly, respectively. So if means here is given T11, that means the delamination where the diameter is 0.25 inch and the depth is 0.75 inch. Similarly, if we take in this one, just T3.2, that means the diameter is 1 inch and the depth is 1.50 inch. If we take in this T23, where 2 means the diameter is 0.5 inches and the depth is 2.25 millimeter. So this is the delamination. And here is denoted with SD. That means the skin to rib frame disbound. That is denoted by SDB. B means 1, 2, 3 or 4, where the diameter is 0.25, 0.5, 1, 1.0 or 2.0 inches respectively. That means SD1 means the diameter is 0.25 inches. Similarly, SD3 means the diameter of this skin to rib frame disbound is 1.0 inches. And there is some notation, that is the plus and the star sign, where the plus XY or star XY. Plus or star means impactor tube according to diameter or inches, and X means impact number and Y is the impact energy in joule. If we can say here the star 240, it means this is the impact. Here is the impact number is here is an impact, whether this is the impact number is 2 and this is the energy, impact energy is 40. Then similarly here is this is the impact number of 3 and the impact energy is 50 joule. Similarly this one is the fifth impact and the impact energy is 60 joules. And there is some notation with A and B, where A means the diameter of 12 mm on top side of skin, and B means diameter of 12 mm on bottom side of skin. A is the diameter of 12 mm on top side of skin and B is the similar diameter which is the bottom side of the skin. So this one is the defect type. Now coming to the selection is his NDT methods. Many NDI or NDT methods were down selected because of this criteria, that is the laser ultrasonic, because of its relatively high cost, low kilovolt radiography because of the necessary safety precaution and some special techniques because of the sensitivity of the vibration. Finally, the following non-destructive inspection or NDI methods sorry, were selected for installation in the NTP inspection program, that is the visual inspection, ultrasonic inspection and the thermographic inspection. Here ultrasonic inspection is taken the handheld UT camera, phased array UT and the dry coupled roller UT. So students, let's discuss about starting with the visual inspection. The following visual inspection types are generally distinguished according to the walk around, general visual and detailed visual inspection. The general visual inspection of the NTP panels was performed with the naked eye under condition of good lighting and surface cleanliness. The sensitivity of inspection was changed the general visual inspection of NTP panels was performed with a naked eye under the condition of good lighting and the surface cleanliness. The sensitivity of inspection was enhanced by using a pocket torch and by viewing the surface also from a low angle. Next one is the baseline ultrasonic C-scan inspection. The ultrasonic C-scan inspection of the specimen was done to provide a baseline view of the presence of defect against which the selected mobile in service NDT method would be compared. UT ultrasonic testing C-scan is currently the primary production inspection techniques for composite structure after manufacturing. UT C-scan is currently the primary production inspection techniques. It's the primary production inspection techniques for the composite structure after the manufacture. The figure shows the NLR C-scan. The figure shows the NLR C-scan equipped and an example of the baseline inspection for the panel NTPB. That is a solid laminate with 3 T-shaped stiffener. Both the immersion and the water jet method, methods were used for the baseline inspection. Here is the picture of this one is the method during the testing. This picture shows during the testing of UC ultrasonic testing, and here is the picture of the material or C-scan or the C-scan display the material. Now next is handheld UT camera. That is for handheld UT camera we had used Acustocam TM i500. The Acustocam TM is a handheld ultrasonic imaging camera, which is developed by Imperium Incorporated for fast and real time UT or ultrasonic testing inspection. It produces a high resolution. C-scan image over an area of the specimen utilizing an array of 120 into 120 piezoelectric sensing elements. The array is responsive. The array is responsive over a wide array of ultrasound frequency using the ultrasonic frequency. Although the most imaging is done in the range of 1 to 7.5 megahertz. A separate transparent PVDF sensor in front of the main UT transducer is used to provide a conventional A-section presentation of the test part with information about the depth of present defects. Both the C-scan image and the A-scan presentation, C-scan image and the A-scan presentation are displayed on the control unit of the camera head. The inspection of the NTP panel was performed by this Imperium Incorporated. So here is the picture of the handheld camera or the Acasto camera TM I500, and this one is the display where you can see the C-scan image and the A-scan presentation, and here is the enlargement of these pictures. So this one is the handheld UT camera. Next is phased array UT, that is OmniScan TMPA. The ultrasonic phase array or UTPA methods is a spherical UT method that make use a transducer consisting of multiple ultrasonic element that can each be driven independently. The PA transducer can have a different geometry, and PA beams can be steered, scanned, swept and focused electronically. The UTPA inspection of the NTP panels was done by the NLR with an OmniScan TM of Olympus NDT and Olympus PA probe 5L128 to I2, where the frequency means is 5 MHz, 120 elements, the elements with the pitch of 0.6 millimeter, wedge millimeter, and the matching wedge is S12 0L and 1HC, where the thickness is 22 millimeter. The ultrasonic coupling between transducer and the test part was accomplished by applying a water film between the wedge and test part. The water is herewith guided through two small diameter holes machined in the wedges. Further, the encoder was attached to the wedges to enable the scanning and providing the C-scan presentation on the NTP panel. So here is the machine or the OmniScan TMPA, which is used for the phased array ultrasonic testing, and here is the C-scan image of this composite beam. Next is UTPA dry coupling probe, that is Rapid Scan TM3D. The Rapid Scan TM of Sonasest Limited employ a UT phased array ultrasonic test phased array probe housed within a rubber couple and water fill wheel probe. The rubber tire is acoustically matched to water. The rubber tire is acoustically matched to water and providing the low loss coupling into the test part. Providing the low loss coupling to the test part. The probe can be used. The probe can be used without coupling, but generally a fine water spray on the test part is used for the optimum coupling. Wheel probe with 50 mm active array with the 64 elements with 0.8 mm pitch or the 100 mm width, that means 128 elements with a 0.8 mm pitch are available. The larger probe is meant for float surfaces. The smaller one can also be used on slightly curved parts. The transducer frequency can be selected as 2, 5 or 10 MHz. The handled roller probe together with a 7-axis Faro scanning arm can be used for the first and real-time ultrasonic testing inspection of relatively large area. So this one is the machine, that is the dry coupling probe with the dry coupling probe, that is a rapid scan TM3D, and this one is the processing type. This is the picture of the during the sonic testing, and here is the image which is collected. This is the image of the beam. Now coming to the thermography. Infrared thermography is a non-contact, non-destructive inspection method that monitors the heat radiation pattern on the surface of a test part. The method employs light just above the visible part of the electromagnetic spectrum, range of about 2 to 14 micrometer. Passive and active infrared techniques can be distinguished, but for non-destructive inspection purposes generally the active technique is used. The object is herewith excited either by an external source or by mechanical vibration. The material defects are then detectable by the corresponding anomalies in the heat distribution patterns on the surface of the test part. Thermographic techniques are well applicable to composite material because of their relatively low thermal conductivity, which implies a slow lateral heat flow with closely spaced isotherm, resulting in a good defect resolution. The detachable flow size is in generally larger than the depth of the flow. So this one is the picture of during the thermography process, and here is the picture after the picture of the composite material is taken these thermography methods. Now coming to the evolution of in-service NDT methods. All methods have their specific advantages and the limitation that make them more or less suitable for a particular inspection application. However, the following quantitative described can be given. For the visual inspection, it is a primarily method for the in-service inspection of composite structure. It is relatively fast and capable of detecting the relevant impact damages and the other surface irregularity. Here the impact damages initially dent depth larger than the 1 millimeter. Next is ultrasonic inspection. Ultrasonic inspection is a primary non-destructive inspection method for in-service inspection of composite structure, especially regarding its capability for the detection, sizing and depth of estimation of defects. Capability, so UT is a capability for the detection and the size and depth estimation of defects. The UT inspection is also the relatively fast. The limitation can be requirement to use an coupling between the probe and the test parts. The Acustocam TM is a handle and ultrasonic imaging camera for fast and real-time inspection, but with a limited field of view, about the 1 square inch. Ultrasonic phase array, that is UTPA inspection, provides the best capability for in-service inspection and characterization. A position encoder is required in order to produce a C-scan image. The rapid scan TM phases a PA handled roller probe that works almost couplant free, and together with a multi-axis scanning from it can be used for the first and real-time UT inspection of relatively large area. Next is the thermography. Thermography is relatively fast, non-contact method that require no coupling for complex scanning equipment. Impact damages are readily detachable, but the detachability for delaminations and disks is poor to moderate when compared with the ultrasonic inspection. The detachable defect size decreases with the increasing defect depth. Both methods are not suited for the defect depth estimation. However, both methods depth estimation. Now, coming to the scanning processes. So there are the various types of scanning processes. In between, the most important are these. That is the A scan, B scan, C scan, D scan, E scan, M scan and Z scan. So there are the 7 scan processes. So students, let's start with this A scan process. A scan, a display in which the received pulse, a display in which the received pulse amplitude is represented as a displacement along one axis, usually the y-axis, and the travel time of the ultrasonic pulse, is represented as a displacement along with the other axis, that is usually the x-axis. So in the x-axis, travel timing is shown, and in the y-axis the received pulse amplitude is represented. So this is the A scan, where in a linear amplification system, the vertical exertions is proportional to the amplitude of the signal. With the use of logarithm scale amplifiers, the y-axis represents a logarithmic scale. There are different kind of single representation possible. That is the number one is both half wave rectified, positive half wave, negative half wave, rectified and unfiltered, rectified and filtered. This is smoothing. So here is the picture of the A scan presentation. Here is the defect reflector. This is the showing the amplitude, pulse amplitude, and this is the travel time. This is the A scan. Number 2 is B scan. A two-dimensional graphical presentation in rectangular coordinates in which the travel time of an ultrasonic pulse is represented as a displacement along the one axis, and the transduction movement is represented as a displacement along the other axis. In this presentation, The reflected pulse are shown as an event. The event marks present. The event marks represent the echo by different evolution. Number one is if the echo signal amplitude exceed a present threshold within a gate, thus drawing a mark, that is 0/1 method. And number two is the echo exceeds a preset threshold within a gate and they drawn color plates or grayscale plate or the grayscale is proportional to the amplitude of the signal. So student, here is the picture of the B scan presentation. Next is the C scan, a two-dimensional graphical presentation in which the discontinuity echoes are displayed in a top view of the test surface. In the presentation, reflected pulses are shown as event. The event marks are represented by the echo difference, that is the echo exceeding a present threshold within a gate, the drawn or a mark, that is 0/1 method. And number two is the echo exceeding a present threshold within a gate or a drawn color plate, especially in the grayscale, is proportional to the amplitude of the signal. So this method is applied to pulse echo and the transmission techniques. Usually no identification of depth is given unless the complete scan presents the time of flight evolution. This will be especially the D scan. Hence, in the computerized and the more sophisticated system, due to the digitalization and the storaging, post-processing is available for displaying the various kind of presentation. The scan is reviewed by different evolution methods. So here is the C scan presentation. Next is D scan, a two-dimensional graphical presentation in which the time of flight value are displayed in a top view on the stage. Two-dimensional graphical presentation in which the time of flight values are displayed in the top view of the staged surface. So this is the modified C scan in which are the amplitude the display, where the amplitude is displayed. So this scan is basically none other than the modified display of C scan. Next is the P scan. Projection imaging scanning is a projection of a B scan result, which is performed in top view of the test piece to any side view of the test piece. It is used for the 3D visualization of defects or the corrosion. The ultrasonic weld inspection using the P-scan imaging is mainly used for weld inspection with either a manual or a mechanized scanner. The corrosion mapping technique is applicable to pipe, vessels, storage tanks, ships, and the many other structures. Here is the picture of the P-scan, which is basically the projection image scan. Or we can say that it is the modified portion of the P-scan also. You can see this. Told you. Next is the M scan. M stands for the motion. So in M scan, a rapid sequence of the B scan, those whose images follow each other in sequence on screen, enables the doctor to see and measure the range of the motion as the organ boundary that produces the reflection move the relative to the profile. So this is the M scan. This is the another part of the B scan. Now coming to the Z scan. In non-linear optics, Z scan technique is used to measure the non-linear index N2 and the non-linear absorption coefficient, that is delta A, via the closed and open methods respectively. As non-linear absorptions can affect the measurement of nonlinear index. The open method is typically used in conjunction with a closed method to correct the calculated value. For measuring the real part of the nonlinear refractive index, the Z-scan setup is used to close aperture form. So in this form, since the nonlinear material react like a weak Z dependent lens, the far field apparatus makes it possible to detect the small beam distortion in the original beam. Since the focusing power of this weak nonlinear lens depends on the nonlinear refractive index, it will be possible to extract its value by analyzing the Z-dependent data acquired by the detector and by cautiously interpreting them using an appropriate theory. To measure the imaginary part on the nonlinear refractive index or the nonlinear absorption coefficient, the Z-scan setup is used in its open aperture form. In open aperture measurement, the far field measure is removed and the whole signal is measured by the detector. By the measuring the whole signal, the beam small distortion become insignificant and the Z dependent the signal variation is due to the high nonlinear absorption entirely. Despite its simplicity, in many cases the original Z-scan theory is not completely accurate. That is when the nonlinear medium responds to laser radiation in non-local in space. Whenever the laser induces the nonlinear response at a certain point of the medium is not solely determined by the laser intensity at that point, but also depend on the laser intensity in the surrounding region. It will be called a non-local non-linear optical response. Generally, a variety of mechanisms may contribute to the non-linearity, some of which may be non-local. For instance, when the nonlinear medium is displaced inside a dielectric solution, reorientation of the dipoles as a result of the optical field action is non-local in space and changes the electric field experienced by the nonlinear medium. The non-local Z-scan theory can be used for systematically analyzing the role of various mechanisms in producing the local nonlinear response of different materials. And this is a picture of the Z-scan. Here is the sense, this is the sample, and is the lens. A laser comes in this way. This detector the completes the function, and this is the detector. So this is the Z. So students, today we will cover the second part of this, the in-service damage inspection, and we will discuss about the various type of the processes. So students, you can easily understand about the scanning methods and the various methods and their scanning processes. So in the next class we'll discuss on another topic. So still then, stay at home and stay safe. Thank you so much, students.